What's going on, YouTube? Zach is back, bringing you another Pokemon Unite replay commentary. This time featuring Vaporeon. We've got a nice balanced team here, I do believe. Yep, looks very balanced. We got one of each role, in fact. The enemy team, I do believe in this game, gave me... Yes, there it is. They picked Dragapult, and so that's why I picked Vaporeon. Vaporeon is the best counter to Dragapult that you can pick among the defenders. In this game, I intend to show why. The two main factors contributing to that is first, Vaporeon is very, very mobile, and second, Dragapult needs to be stopped with stuns to stop his DPS, and Vaporeon has great stuns for stopping him. So we'll see about those things in just a little while. In the meantime, though, if you'd leave a like, I will be really happy. So please leave a like. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see in future videos. And yeah, we'll get right into it. We're landing bottom with the horse, who's going to be stacking. So my goal when I go into lanes like this is to sort of oscillate between two objectives. One being helping him get his stacks done, and one being maintaining contested farm. So right off the get, he goes to score his first stack, obviously, and I'm going to make my way across the same way, echoing his footsteps just to give him a little bit of room to get out of there. If he wants to go back in, that's sort of on him. But my goal there is to make it so he can escape easily. Unfortunately, what's less great for us is the enemy team is going to get both the contested farms, and we're going to leave our horse pretty low as a result. But no matter. This is a duo where we're pretty strong early on as long as we can get our levels, because we have a Vaporeon, obviously, and also the horse, even before evolving, has really good like last hit and is really annoying, just really fast. And here we get the first tool for dealing with Dragapult, Muddy Water. But it's also great in lane, obviously. It helps with zoning the enemy team in situations like this. And it makes it so that we don't really mind standing our ground to some extent, since we are dishing out these massive area effect stuns. But again, they get most of the contested farm, this time thanks to their Gardevoir being there. So my goal is just to keep my horse alive if I can, and not lose too much if we can avoid it. Whenever the mid ganks to their lane, my goal is always, if I'm facing the enemy mid gank, to just get farm that we can safely, and don't lose any lives, don't let them score any points, you know? And here you can see how Muddy Water is great against something like Dragon Dance. As he's flying through the air, we can catch him with any part of Muddy Water, or with Tackle. And when they evolve, or get level 6 obviously, Flip Turn. Yep, and he's so low HP that the burst damage of those moves as well is really good at finishing him off and giving him a hard time. Umbreon's a little low there, but he's still hard to get even when he is low. We're relying on the DPS at our Venusaur in that situation mainly, so if he can't take out the guy, then no one can. That said, if they are willing to overextend like that, then we have to be willing to punish them. Although I still want to be getting farm, and I don't want them getting Regidrago, so I'm keeping eyes on things like that. As much as it can be helpful to push them where we can, in a situation like this, I'd rather just get farm because we're even. They have a bit more safety in terms of their goal pad when we try to push into it. We have more safety when we push into ours. So really the fight's going to oscillate between goal pads ideal. I don't know why I'm saying oscillating so much today. That's the second time in this video. But anyway, the burst of Muddy Water is also great for getting last hits, obviously. It wasn't technically Muddy Water that got that last hit, but it's what set up the last hit for me. Unfortunately, without the flip turn there, the guy gets his full Dragon Dance off, which gets a lot of damage off on me especially. But our Venusaur is getting work done too, and the Umbreon's quite low. Yep. And then I can catch him there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So there you saw how it works out with catching him with flip turn and Muddy Water. It's very convenient, very useful to have these sorts of tools in a mobile defender for dealing with a Pokemon like that. Usually against mobile Pokemon, you want to either be very sturdy or be mobile similar to them to be able to fight them. And Vaporeon actually kind of does both against Dragapult, which makes her such a great counter against him. Our team play is looking alright so far. We do have a little baby Pupitar top still, but he just needs time and levels, so I don't mind us fighting down here and giving him this time to get those levels he needs. That said, I don't want to push too far on their pad like I was talking about before, until we have ways of actually combating them there. With my ult, that is a way of combating them, and it allows us to get 2 nice KOs quickly thanks to the Venusaur helping as well. This is our push opportunity, and with just 7 points on me, I'm able to perfectly knock out the pad with just 1 overcap. Normally it's better to wait in situations like that and score more points there, but at the same time, I feel like fighting them on their pad where they still have shields and HP regen makes it harder to KO them. Like, we might not have got the Gardevoir and Umbreon if we hadn't done that, and they might have had more time to take out more of us. But as it stands, we do get them. We do get the ice. We have a level 10 Tyranitar now. Very, very nice to see. I don't mind cutting across the map here with these guys because there's farm to get along the way. And I'm pretty quick with Flip Turn and Muddy Water at both getting across the map and farming whatever we come across along the way. So Mime and I can easily get that before we continue on our way. And again, Muddy Water is just like dropping an anvil on this guy. You catch him as soon as you like, and it's hard for him to be able to do much about it. Ooh, the Mime lines them up perfectly there, allowing the Tyranitar and the Venusaur to catch up and dish out the DPS we need. Of course, the Muddy Water I threw out there also helped out a little bit. So far, the game is going really, really well. I don't want to jinx things, but knowing the outcome of the match, I will say that it's not going to keep going well. But we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Part of our dilemma right now, in terms of any weaknesses we do have, is we do have low levels in the horse. But they're also pretty low level on their team, and we're doing a good job of controlling them still. So even if we have one low level person, we're still able to make a good dent in their formation and push very aggressively. Catching the Latias while he's this far up away from his teammates is really valuable. We get a lot of burst damage on him, and it cuts down his ability to tank with Dragon Pulse later on. Even if we can't finish him off because of his healing, we are still able to knock out the goal pad, which was the main goal there. And now we have bottom to worry about. And this is where things start to get a little out of hand. A pretty common mistake to make when you're in the lead like this is to overextend, overstay your welcome, and start losing people. And so far we haven't done that yet, but it sure looks like it could happen any moment. And as soon as they start picking us off, yep, like they're doing now, they're going to start getting momentum back, which is how they can win this game, right? If you're in a situation like they're in, a good way to make a comeback is just keep playing as 5, and eventually the enemy team will screw up. They're not going to play perfect forever. And when they finally do overextend and overcommit like that, you can pick them apart. Now here, forcing the fight at the bottom objective means that we're basically forced to fight the enemy team as 5 here with we only have 3. So we're going to quickly lose one person and then the Mime as well, I believe. Yep, the Mime and the Venusaur can't last much longer, which means that those of us coming in now are just going to trickle in and get picked off too. This is sort of a common way to lose in the late game, where one death can become many deaths thanks to the momentum shift on the teams. You can see that even with the Gardevoir low, we can't do much to get him. They get mean looked, and then the horse is showing up and feeding as well. Not feeding, but you get the point. We're trickling in and dying individually, and it makes it very difficult to push the momentum back in the other direction. During this time, the enemy team begins hitting mid with their double attacker lineup. They have really good burst damage, especially on the Dragapult for ripping that thing very quickly. So we need to get there ASAP if we want to stop them. But even though we're there and we try our best, the Mime ult doesn't do enough damage with the other ults already used or dead, leaving us only Tyranitar to contest the objective directly. And it's pretty rough from here to try to get a win. You can see how we played well, but then how we sort of made a few critical mistakes that allowed the enemy team to get the win back from us. So it's definitely a game of learning, a game of mistakes, but still a fun game for showing off why Vaporeon counters Dragapult, and how you can counter Dragapult with Vaporeon. Anyway, Thank you all so much for watching. I always appreciate you being here. Thank you for your support, for your kindness, your words, your everything. I appreciate y'all. With that said, I don't really have much else, so peace out.